How you doing? Thanks for joining. Man, yeah, it's good. Glad you could drop in. I just, there's been a lot on my heart this week. And, ever since we have entered into this Cancer season, ever since this last moment of eclipse, there is just so much on my mind, on my heart. And one of the things that I want to share with you all today is this feeling of truth. This feeling of truth that I have this week. This truth that I just want to share with folks. First of all, I just want to say that, as we're in this eclipse season, I find it to be really powerful, really fascinating that we are approaching all of this. Given the fact that we here on Turtle Island cannot see the eclipses that are happening. We cannot see it, but they're happening, and they've been happening, and they keep happening. And I share that, and I'm thinking about that because I think part of it is unearthing some deep truths. That right now we're called to this moment of faith, y'all. That there is light and darkness being shined on some truths that we need to embrace. That we need to unearth. And like many of you, I'm a follower of Irresistible Movements, formerly known as the Healing Justice Podcast. And I just have some reflections on the recent announcement of Kate Warner's resignation, but more so on Whitney Spencer's story that we are so blessed to know, that she courageously shared with all of us. I want to share a few reflections because I think one of the truths this week is being honest with you all about why am I doing this work? Why am I here constantly telling you to sign up for coaching with me, And the story I want to tell you all today very much relates to the story of Whitney Spencer. And I want to share this story because I need it. I need to share this story. It's part of the truth that I think I feel called to unearth in this eclipse season. And y'all know me. Y'all already know me. I'm about to be here and crying with you all, but hey, this is the time of emotion, and there's so much beauty and healing and gift in that. So, the story I want to share with you is when I first became a nonprofit organizer, I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't understand fully what my job was. And it takes some time. It takes some time when you become an organizer to really get clear on what is my role here? What is my purpose? How am I called to lead? What am I not supposed to lead? How do I empower people? How do I support people in recognizing themselves? You know, like, and it takes some time. It just takes some time. And the time that it took, you know, for me to really embrace and understand more of what is my role, what are my gifts. What up, Kevin? It was really towards the end of my first year as an organizer that I finally understood, what am I supposed to be doing here? What is going on with me? You know? And when I headed into my second year, I had this clarity of vision. I had this insatiable hunger of wanting to build a powerful base of multiracial leaders in the state of Colorado. I wanted to win big. And I wanted to build, you know? I got so clear. And I have to definitely credit Isaiah week-long training for solidifying a lot of lessons that I learned in my first year as an organizer. And in that second year, I gave everything. And I built my vision. I built my vision, manifested it, and gave more than was my capacity. And then what happened was I was met with my organization telling me that I wasn't doing my work. And it was painful. It was painful to be told that I wasn't doing my work after I had dedicated myself to this clear vision, this purpose, to building a base of powerful leaders, to winning some significant campaigns, to, you know, learning hard lessons about organizing is building teams. It's not about doing shit by yourself. But to be told, you know, that I wasn't doing my work, that was painful to receive. And how it went down, and why I feel like it's important to tell this story, is, you know, I, in that moment, in that height of my work, I was told that I was doing it wrong, that it wasn't enough, and I was put into a disciplinary process that I didn't agree with, that I resisted and fought against. But y'all, you know, I share this story because that devastated me. It completely broke my heart that I was a part of an organization that couldn't see me, that couldn't see the value of what I was doing, that couldn't recognize all that I was giving, that I was being met with this message that still my work was not enough, that I wasn't there. And, you know, there's ways to always grow. Every year that I grow as an organizer, I become different. I'm ever changing. We are in evolution. We're not supposed to stay the same. And, you know, I fought because I had this vision, this big vision with this organization. But it wasn't the right place. And it wasn't the right fit. And there was a lot of things that, even though I felt so called to do, it just wasn't the environment for me. And the reason why I'm sharing this story is for a few reasons. Number one, when I read Whitney Spencer's experience of working for Irresistible Movements, formerly the Healing Justice podcast, what she encountered as far as the various characteristics of white supremacy, of navigating how to work with a white supervisor who wouldn't see her, who wouldn't hear her. You know, that resonated. And it unearthed this truth for me. It reminded me of where I started. Over now, like 3+ years ago, in allowing coaching to be a fundamental part of my life. I remember doing what an organizer would do. I reached out to my people at the time, people who I knew wanted to support me, people who did see me, and I asked them, what should I do? And one of the people that I connected with was my coach now, Sarah Silva, with Emergent Coaching. And she just moved into this role with the Faith in Action National Network, being the lead coach. And I was like, I don't know what the hell that means. But she was an organizer. She was someone in that national network that I deeply respected. And when I was told to just reach out to her for some support, I was like, all right, let's do it. And y'all, that decision to set up that call changed my life. And it was the commitment and the practice of calling out to her and reaching out to her again and again that now we could come together and joyfully celebrate so much. Recognize our relationship. Recognize my growth over the past 3.5 years. And I share this because, one, I think it's important for us to tell our stories like Whitney Spencer. We absolutely need to tell our own stories. There's too many times we let our silence overwhelm us. There's too many times where we are just trying to survive so hard that we don't give voice. We don't tell the truth of what we face in these white-led nonprofits. The impact of the characteristics of white supremacy being perpetuated by people who say they're about the work, but are not willing to put in the work. You know, at the end of the day, I share this story because if one of my community members at the time hadn't encouraged me to consider coaching, I don't know where I would be today. I don't know who I would be today. And that was the support that I needed. There was a lot of other things that I had tried in my life, other supports that I had in my life, but the relationship that I found in my work with Sarah allowed for me to grow and flourish and realize that my dreams matter, that my voice matters, that my gifts are beautiful offerings that everyone deserves, and that I deserve to share them in the ways that make me feel free, in the ways that bring me joy, that there are so many options on how to live. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful because I did not necessarily have the courage of Whitney Spencer to tell this story in a timely manner after it happened to me. But I'm here today because of her courage and sharing her experience and wanting to share this with you, that the reason why I'm so deeply committed to serving women of color, specifically Latinx, Chicanx identifying, Black, Indigenous, queer, trans people of color, and community organizers is because of how this service has transformed my life. And I really believe you can't ask someone to do something you're not willing to do yourself. That is an organizing principle that I do hold near and dear to my heart. And so when I reach out to you and I make this invitation, as I invite you to say yes to creating space to yourself, it's because I am doing that still to this day. That I'm committed to this kind of transformation for myself, and I'm so committed to it that I want to make my whole life, my offerings, my purpose, offering that to you all here in my community. So if you've been seeing these different things I've been putting up, and an inkling of you is like, I would love that, I'm inviting you. I'm inviting you to say yes. Sign up. There's a free call. It's a free 30-minute call with me. There's nothing you have to lose. You have everything to gain. And you're worth it. I was worth it. I'm still worth it. And you're worth it. Your stories matter to me. Your gifts matter to me. Who you are as a leader and the leader you want to become matters to me. So let's work together so the world can see you in your fullness. The fullness of your joy, the fullness of your glory, the fullness of you. The fullness of you. This is my invitation. I sincerely hope you say yes.